Season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
But I do know that I've had some younger folk tell me, oh, you need to be woke, you need to be... What if woke is offensive? How could that offend anyone? As a narcoleptic.
Well-intentioned, but it's like not thinking it all the way through. Bitch, how the fuck are you going to yell at a black man about discrimination? She didn't get it. She just kept going. Women suffer. I know. Women suffer. Same team. Women suffer. I know.
Woke Hollywood might think it's untouchable, but comedians are proving otherwise. From calling out cancel culture to exposing virtue signaling, these stand-ups aren't afraid to say what everyone's thinking. Comedy is one of the few places left where honesty still reigns. And when it comes to roasting Hollywood's woke nonsense, these comedians do it best. Here are 5 brutal times comedians took on woke Hollywood and left it in shambles. First up, Ricky Gervais takes aim at double standards in his classic no-filter style. The 2020 Golden Globes will forever be remembered as the night Ricky Gervais lit Hollywood on fire.
I'm Ricky Gervais, thank you. You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking, I never did. NBC clearly don't care either, 5th time. So, I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some offensive tweets. Hello. Lucky for me, the Hollywood foreign press can barely speak English, and they've no idea what Twitter is, so I got offered this gig by fax.
Ricky kicked things off by making it abundantly clear that this wasn't going to be your typical Hollywood love fest, joking that the Hollywood foreign press barely knew what Twitter was and that he got the gig via fax. He let the audience know he had nothing to lose and wasn't holding back.
You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Even there, Ricky couldn't resist a dark turn, comparing his own show, Afterlife, to the grim fate of Jeffrey Epstein, and reminding the audience that no, he didn't kill himself.
A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off, okay?
But Ricky wasn't done. He zeroed in on the celebrities themselves, mocking their holier-than-thou attitudes while pointing out their partnerships with companies infamous for sweatshops and shady practices. He shut up any notions of virtue by telling them to take their awards, thank their gods, and just move on. By the end, Gervais had turned what should have been a self-congratulatory evening into a brutal reality check for an industry often blind to its own contradictions. If the crowd thought that he'd be giving out flowers for their work, well, let's just say they were dead wrong.
You know, and I was on stage not too long ago. I was in Syracuse, New York. Yeah, well, yeah, for Syracuse, but the show didn't go so good. All because I was talking about Bill Cosby a little bit. Not a little bit, I'll be honest. Talked about him for like maybe 25 minutes. And a woman stood up in the back of the room and she screamed out, "You are a fucking asshole for saying these things." I know. Instantly, I felt, like bad. not bad about what I was saying. I just felt bad, like, oh, that's too bad she doesn't like the show.
In his stand-up, Dave Chappelle talked about his time during a set in Syracuse where he found himself in a showdown with a heckler that could only happen in today's woke climate. While delivering a lengthy bit on Bill Cosby, a woman in the audience shouted profanities at him. Not stopping there, she charged toward the stage in full rage mode, and Chappelle didn't back down. Instead, he used the moment to highlight the irony of a white woman lecturing a black man about suffering, and boy did he let her have it.
But as this woman was wrestling and screaming at me, I started to take offense. And I'm gonna be honest, race was involved. She was a young white woman. Well-intentioned, but it's like not thinking it all the way through. Bitch, how the fuck are you going to yell at a black man about discrimination? She didn't get it. She just kept going. Women suffer. I know. Women suffer. Same team. Women suffer. I know. And this bitch went too far. We suffer just like you. Slow your roll, bitch. Black people know about comparative suffering, and you know this is a fucking dead-end game. Blacks and Jews do that shit to each other all the time. You ever played Who Suffered More with a Jewish person? It's a tough game. Whenever you think you got the Jewish guy on the ropes, that motherfucker be like, well, don't forget about Egypt. Egypt? God damn, I didn't know he was going all the way back to Egypt.
He even joked about how this dynamic plays out in black and Jewish communities, bringing a dose of truth wrapped in humor.
And I would be remiss if I didn't remind you that technically these are all still allegations, although I admit it looks very bad. But perhaps, if she looked at it correctly, she would have empathy for me, the man she was attacking. 42-year-old black comedian. Obviously, Bill Cosby was a hero to me.
The final nail in the coffin was his reflection on reconciling his admiration for Cosby with the disturbing allegations, saying it was like learning your favorite dessert committed unspeakable acts. Chappelle's wit turned the chaos into a comedic masterclass, nothing he's not used to doing.
In charge of any, it's like not our job.
I'm on this little campaign right now. I'm on a, it sounds, because I'm so vanilla, as it were, you know, and people don't think of me as any edge. And I don't know that I have any edge, but I am anti-woke, at least in the stand-up comedy community. And because I think that being politically incorrect, being wrong, being dark, being too soon are the colors. That's what it's supposed to. That's why it's funny.
Yeah. Howie Mandel is the first to admit he doesn't exactly have an edge, but when it comes to the woke movement, he's firmly anti-woke, especially in the stand-up comedy world.
George Carlin was a drug addict. Richard Pryor was a drug addict. Like, all these people that you looked up to were very faulty. We're very funny and charming, but we're very faulty.
And the clown gets the most severe punishment. The clown gets his whole lifeline taken away.
This we could disagree with.
What are you talking about?
This I could disagree with. Show me someone who got their life taken away.
Gilbert Gottfried.
But Howie's not worried. He mentions that while people may lose endorsements or gigs over a controversial joke, the comedy itself can't be taken away. The pendulum, he believes, is swinging back. Comedians like Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan are thriving despite the cancel culture attempts, proving that the woke censorship won't hold back true comedy, and it definitely won't hold back him.
What if woke is offensive? How could that offend anyone? As a narcoleptic.
In his first ever dry bar comedy special, Rick D'Elia's take on the woke movement is both hilarious and thought-provoking. He completely flips the script by suggesting that, hey, what is being woke itself might actually be offensive. Shocking, right?
My mom would dress up like the Virgin Mary, and she wouldn't give out Snickers bars, she'd give communion. I hope I didn't offend anybody. You never know anymore what is offensive and what isn't, right? And it's generally the younger generation that is the woke generation. And I don't know if there's a newsletter, but I don't know how, there's probably a word that's safe today. A month from now will somehow be on the no-fly list. I don't know what that word is. But I do know that I've had some younger folk tell me, oh, you need to be woke, you need to be... What if woke is offensive? How could that offend anyone? As a narcoleptic...
He takes the audience through his childhood, where his overly religious family made Halloween a unique experience. It's these absurdities that Rick highlights to show how hard it is to figure out what's actually offensive in today's world.
But I don't know. I met this gal not very long ago who had just gotten out of a marriage and trying to lend a shoulder to lend some condolence. I said, I understand it could be very difficult to be a divorcee. Oh, you did not just call me a divorcee. Yeah, I mean, technically you're no longer, oh my, that's so rude and demeaning. You don't call somebody you just met a divorcee. What do you think before you open your mouth, divorcee? Certified pre-owned?
His example of calling someone a divorcee and getting called out for it is a perfect example of how impossible it is to keep up. Rick's point is clear. No matter what you do, someone, somewhere, will find it offensive, and sometimes that's just as ridiculous as the woke culture itself.
Transgender athletes, I don't fucking understand that, you know? I understand it, you want to switch around, I don't give a shit, but I'm a sports fan. That's a really new concept to me, that you can be a dude, right? Ranked 80th in the fucking world, you have your dick cut off, you put on a sports bra, and now you're the #1 tennis player in the world, just coming out there with your man shoulders. That doesn't seem fair. I might be wrong. I might just be an old guy. I have no idea. But I'm hearing rumors like some of them are getting into that MMA. You can't have that shit. Am I nuts? That is a dickless dude beating the shit out of a woman. Jesus Christ. He might as well hit her with his discarded dick like a flashlight.
Bill Burr's unapologetic style doesn't shy away from controversy. From transgender athletes to abortion, Burr addresses hot-button issues in a way that's both uncomfortable and undeniably funny in his sets. On transgender athletes, he hilariously critiques the fairness of biological men competing in women's sports, comparing it to a bizarre mismatch in MMA. And boy, he is not subtle about it. He's a genius when it comes to pointing out societal hypocrisies, and the way the guy delivers his observations is straight up hilarious, even if he does leave the audience gasping too. So if you want more of the comedian crew that's anti-woke with a capital A and W, subscribe and be part of the Truth Team. That's actually funny.